After mom and dad died, mom's best friend took me home. Auntie's son is very good-looking, bad boy charm. I called him brother. He snickered. Why mom brought you back, but she wants you to be arranged marriage for me. It's not appropriate to call my brother. Right, roses weave romantic dreams. Chase to see roses romantic meaning endless. The most important thing to remember is that you can't stop the romance, so be sure to like, comment, retweet, follow, and turn on the little bell, and you'll be able to embrace the beautiful drama right on time. Come on Yoon, let me introduce you. This is my son Chase. Aunt Laura brought me to a bad boy charm big brother after introducing me to Uncle Chang. Is so good looking. Smiled slightly brother. Chase snorted and hung back. My mom brought you back, but she wants you to be my arranged marriage. It's not appropriate to be called brother, is it? Fuck you. Aunt Laura slapped Chase on the head. You're always in a bad mood, and you're not afraid to let your sister laugh at you. It's good to know that I'm not serious, so you'd better put away your thoughts. Don't bring others' little sister into a bad state. Chase's tone was uninhibited and he whistled as he finished speaking. Aunt Laura's breath sank. Stop right there. Where are you going in the middle of the night? Chase turned around with a suave look on his face. Going out to hang out with my no-good buddies. That's good. You bring Yoon with you. Aunt Laura pushed me to Chase's side. Yoon, you can keep an eye on him for me, so that he won't get me into trouble by hanging out. Was about to say no when Chase's irritable voice rang out. I'm going out for a fucking drink. Why do I have to take care of your kids? Are you taking them or not? Aunt Laura lowered her voice, her tone carrying the sense of oppression from an old mother. Under the family authority, Chase didn't dare to resist, and nodded with gritted teeth. Okay, I'll bring them, don't blame me if they're bad. Come here, good girl. Go with your brother. This person can still speak English. I looked at Aunt Laura with some difficulty. Aunt Laura immediately changed her face and smiled. Go on Yoon, go and play with them. Don't look at him, he's good at everything else, but he's the best at playing, she said. After saying that, she looked at Chase again. Watch your sister well, brother Chol. I lowered my head and pursed my lips to hold back a smile. Haven't laughed this whole time since mom and dad left. The atmosphere in Aunt Laura's house is so nice. Chase tapped his chest. Don't worry, I won't let you call this brother Chol for nothing. Let's go. He grabbed my arm and led me out. Outside, there was a flirty convertible sports car parked. Chase slapped the door and showed off to me. How is it? Chol just got this car back. You're the first one. Come get in the car, Yoon. Let you feel Chol's driving skills. I really don't want to go. When I left the yard, the car just leapt out in the wind, and after I got out of the car, I felt like my hair was turning into a chicken nest, and I had it in a ponytail. Chase handed the car keys to the parking staff and entered the bar in front of him. After a while he came back out and hemmed and hawed. I almost forgot about you. I'd rather not go in. I really wasn't in the mood. How's that going to work? Your Aunt Laura gave you to me. I'm responsible for you. What if you don't go in and lose it? He grabbed my arm and took me inside. Inside, the sound of manic music was deafening. Chase familiar with the way to bring me to a corner of the card seat, where there are already sitting a lot of people, all in Chase about the age of the boys. When they saw me next to Chase, their eyes lit up. One of them leapt to me in a few steps, wiped his hair from front to back, and then stretched out his hand toward me. Hello Kyle, surnamed Gu of Gu Exian of Exian Jianghu, called Exian brother. Come on sister, shouted the Exian brother. I hear. It was kicked away by Chase. The others laughed out loud, some even teased. Xanz, we do not help you. Chase's object, you dare to molest, do not want to live. I quickly waved my hands and explained, I'm not, but my voice wasn't as loud as theirs, and my voice was completely covered by the music. Chase waved his hand, and someone immediately gave him a seat, and he pointed to an empty seat and gestured for me to go over and sit down. Chol, where did you get your little girlfriend? She looks so nice. Kyle asked, leaning over. Don't be ridiculous, this is my sister. I'm telling you, don't hit on her, don't bully her, do you hear me? Chase pointed them in a circle. He made it look like he was a gangster. The rest of the crowd immediately nodded. Of course, Chu's sister is our sister. Kyle asked me again, little sister, what's your name? I curved my lips. Tiffany. What? Kyle asked loudly. The music was really loud, and they had amazing voices. They could communicate well with this, I just couldn't. I opened my mouth to speak louder when Chase's loud voice rang out. Tiffany. My Yoon sister's name is Tiffany, remember? Chase came to my ear again. Hungry. The apple crumble here is delicious. Your Aunt Laura is really something. Letting you come out with me without even giving you food. Do you really want us to cultivate a relationship? I'm telling you, I don't like the sister type. Don't try to hit on me, huh? I nodded and leaned into his ear. Exactly. I don't like the talkative type either. It's loud. Chase apple crumble came up quickly and I chose to sit in the corner and eat it. watching them drink and brag and dance there. It was almost 10 o'clock when Chase suddenly stood up and raised his hand. I have to go. Immediately, it drew sighs from everyone. Chase, are you sick? It's not even 10 o'clock yet. It's just started. Okay. Chase looked helpless and pointed at me. I can't help it. Isn't this with a child? Little girls can't stay up all night. It's not good for the skin. So it's still for me. The others laughed out loud. So our brother Chul understands how little girls think. Let's go. I can't let our Yoon sister stay up late either. Yoon sister, see you tomorrow. They were all quite nice and warm and cheerful. I smiled and stood up. Went out with Chase, drank a little too much and walked shakily. He came over and put his arm on my shoulder. Yoon sis, hold on to me. How much have you had to drink? He held out a hand. I'm telling you what my limit is. 2 cases of beer. Damn them deadbeats. They poured several glasses of craft gin into me today. It burned me to death, otherwise I could have drank until dawn, so it wasn't for me, it was just to borrow me to escape from the drink. The whole body weight of his body was pressed on my shoulder, and he asked in a daze in my ear, Yoon sister, can you drive? Just at this time the car drove up, helped Chase into the car, took the keys and drove him back. When Uncle Chang Aunt Laura saw Chase drinking like this, she blamed him and herself. I knew he was unreliable. I shouldn't have given Yoon to him. Uncle Chang called for someone to pull Chase away. I smiled weakly. It's okay. He takes care of me. You're the one taking care of him, right? Aunt Laura hummed and suddenly thought of something like, but you did remind me, you're about to start school. It just so happens that Chase has a house near your school, so you can move there then. Don't live in the dormitory. It's inconvenient. I shook my head and without waiting to speak, Aunt Laura said, it's settled. The next morning during dinner, Chase suddenly asked me, how did you get back last night? He was really drunk. I drove back. No, him asking you, did you know the way? Navigation. Chase nodded. Yes. Yes. He suddenly asked me again, you have a driver's license, right? You're only 18, and you have a driver's license before the summer is over. Yaha, Aunt Laura said in a proud tone. Of course. Yoon got his license in 32 days. Aunt Laura's tone was so proud. Of course, Yoon got her license in 32 days. Wow, that's very impressive, Yoon. Can you see that Aunt Laura is treating you like someone else's child? Chase let out a TSK and picked up the bowl and sucked up all the porridge in one gulp. Yoon will start school soon. Take her to buy clothes in a while, and she is in a university. Later you take her to your apartment. Familiarize yourself with the neighborhood first. I can leave Yoon to you. You take good care of her, Aunt Laura instructed Chase. Aunt Laura, that's not. Chase wanted to say something. After dinner he pulled me aside and whispered, did you see that? Your Aunt Laura is trying to get us to live together. It's not going to be good for your reputation in the future. I'll just live at school. No, I'll give you the key. You can ask your classmates to live there. Chase suggested. I smiled and shook my head. No, it's more convenient to live in the dormitory. I told Aunt Laura that I wanted to live in the dormitory, and just by saying that, Aunt Laura called Chase over and scolded him, saying that he was just trying to shirk his responsibility. Chase cried and laughed. No, what responsibility do I have to her? Aunt Laura was furious and dragged Chase away. After a while, they came back. Chase smiled and said to me, Yoon sis, your Aunt Laura is also doing this for your own good. Don't worry, brother will take good care of you. I sighed silently. I know Aunt Laura is doing this for my own good, but I can really take care of myself. Aunt Laura slipped me another card. Yoon, this is your monthly allowance. I will transfer it to it when the month comes. I pushed it back and didn't take it. Aunt Laura, thank you, I have enough money. Take it if it's for you. Chase took the bank card and shoved it into my hand. I don't have the pocket money I need. You Aunt Laura cut me off when I was 16. Aunt Laura glared at him. How old are you and you still want an allowance? I looked over at Chase, remembered that he was like 25 years old. Don't listen to him. He has his own company. He doesn't need us. Aunt Laura smiled and looked me up and down. To go shopping for clothes. I've always wanted to have a daughter and dress her up like a doll. Chase tapped me on the shoulder in a sympathetic tone. Then you're even more pathetic than I am, treating you like a toy. Then Chase was chased all over the house by Aunt Laura. A few rounds later Chase and I headed out. When we got into the car, I handed him my bank card. Give this to Uncle Chang. Aunt Laura, I really can't have it. Chase didn't take it. If you want to give it to you, give it to yourself. Chase took me to his apartment near the school. Besides Chase there was an Aunt Mrs. Baker, who was responsible for the weekday meals. The next few days were uneventful. Aunt Laura came to visit us whenever she could and brought us lots of soups and small dishes that she made herself. Gradually got used to life here. It was time for school to start. Chase drove me to school, underneath the building. I looked at his slutty sports car and hesitated a bit. Get in. Chase waved at me. Hurry up, I'll just take a cab myself. I didn't want to be so flashy on my first day of school. I am not taking a cab. I'm fine. My bags aren't too heavy. Chase got out of the car. What's wrong with you? Tell me what's wrong. I am not dissatisfied. I explained, your car is too high profile. I think I'll take a cab. Chase frowned and seemed a bit impatient. Without saying a word, he took out my suitcase and drove away. Phew. I pulled my suitcase out and after a while, there was a horn honking behind me. I turned my head and to my surprise it was Chase. He'd switched to a black car, an Audi luxury sedan. This one low-key enough for you. He leaned over and opened the passenger door, shouting at me. So he's on his way to change cars. He gets out again, takes the suitcase from me and shoves it in the trunk. Get in. I arrived at the school. A senior greeted me and told Chase, brother, you go get busy. I'll help her take her luggage to the dormitory. Thanks. I nodded to the senior and turned to Chase. Then you, which one of your eyes can tell I'm busy? Chase wrapped his arms around my neck and raised his chin. He was arrogant for some reason. I can deliver it myself. You go deliver someone else. The corner of the senior's eye twitched slightly. But where is the dormitory? I can find it myself. After saying that, Chase wrapped his arms around me and left, shoving me into the car again. When I took out my cell phone and wanted to check where the dorm was, Chase got out with a kick of the gas and surprisingly found the dorm with familiarity. I was a little surprised. How did you know? Chase had a look of I'm the biggest dick. You don't know, do you? I'm from this school too. You think you're the only one who's a student? I hadn't thought of that, but he's an alumnus. He got out of the car to get my suitcase into the dormitory building. I followed behind, saw a lot of girls looking at him. It's true that Chase's face is the center of attention everywhere he goes, but he didn't seem to have much of a reaction. When I got to the door of the dormitory, there were 5 people in there. 3 of them were my roommates, and 2 of them looked like parents. Chase's voice rang out, hi guys. I'm Tiffany's older brother. Help me take care of my sister during orientation training, and I'll treat you to dinner some other time. He was very sweet, and he got me through the network without me having to socialize myself. And my roommates agreed, and the parents even shook Chase's hand and said they would take care of each other. Chase helped me make my bed again, and after everything was done, he shoved the car keys at me. I'll park the car in the parking lot for you, so it'll be easy for you to get out. Brother's leaving. After saying that, he gave the crowd a handsome salute and retreated in style. After he left, the pair of parents also left. The 3 roommates screamed out, aw Tiffany, your brother is so handsome. Fertilizing. Do you have a sister-in-law? I don't know if he has a girlfriend. I answered honestly, you don't know if your brother has a girlfriend? I smiled. He's my mom's best friend's son, not my real brother. Oh. The 3 of them spoke in unison, looking gossipy and ambiguous. Was glad that my roommates were all very nice. One of my roommates suddenly asked me, Tiffany, you and your brother are betrothal pact, right? I was stunned. How can you tell? Don't try to fool me. Usually girlfriends love to make this kind of pact with each other. Treats you so well, he must love you as his daughter-in-law. Wang Ying looked very knowledgeable. The other roommates also nodded in agreement. I smiled, but didn't explain anything. They would believe it later anyway. The next day, orientation training started. During the orientation training, besides the instructors, there were also people from the student council. One of them was the senior who received me yesterday. He saw me and waved his hand to me. When there was a break, he came over to me. Hi, hello again. I'm Ethan. The pavilion. I am Tiffany, I continued. Thanks for yesterday, my brother. He is sorry anyway. Ethan seemed relieved. My roommate Wang Ying suddenly came over and wrapped her arms around my neck. Senior, it's not a real brother, it's a love brother. Gently touched Wang Ying. Don't talk nonsense. I am not talking nonsense. Don't you two have a child marriage? Roommates Chao Zi Nettle and Chen Mo also came over. Ethan looked at me but I didn't say anything. The break was over and we went back to the team. Chen Mo and I stood together and she whispered that senior likes you. I glanced in Ethan's direction and gently poked Chenma. Don't talk nonsense. Then the 2 of us were immediately picked up by the sharp-eyed instructor and taken out to shout slogans. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the first day of orientation training was over. The 4 of us were walking towards the cafeteria when someone behind us suddenly called out my name. When I turned around, it was Ethan, ran over to me and the other 3 immediately got out of the way. Tiffany, we'll wait for you at the campus bistro. Then the 3 of them walked away laughing. I watched them leave and turned back to Ethan. Senpai, do you have something to do? Ethan scratched the back of his head. I just want to ask you, do you like him? This him refers to Chase, right? I shook my head. I really didn't like it. Ethan smiled brightly as I continued. Senior, I have no intention of falling in love. Freshman year I want to build a good foundation first. After saying that, I went to Campus Bistro to look for the three of them. Wang Ying immediately asked me, did Senior Lin confess to you? No Wang Ying. Then what did he want to see you about? He asked me if I like Chase. Chao Zinettle. Do you like him? I shook my head. Chao Zining seemed puzzled. You don't like Chase even though he's so handsome. Then what kind of guy do you like? Wang Ying. Like Mr. Lin? My head was huge. They were too vocal. It's better to be Chen Mo. Chen Mo wrapped his arms around his chest and narrowed his eyes at me. You like Chase? Chin Ma, I'll watch. What kind of roommates are these? After the orientation training, Aunt Laura called on the same day. Aunt Laura called on the same day after the orientation training. Yoon, come back early today. Aunt Laura will prepare a delicious meal for you. Thank you, Aunt Laura. I hung up the phone and shrugged. I can't eat with you guys tonight. Aunt Laura told me to come back early. Chin Mo nodded, very understanding. I should. My future mother-in-law is certainly more important than us. Chao Zinettle and Wang Ying. Haha. I'm really convinced of these three old sixes. If you guys say that again, I will ignore you. I threatened. Well, it wasn't very strong at all. I was pressed by the three of them on the bed and scratched, laughing so hard that tears came out of my eyes and my stomach hurt. It was after 5 p.m. when I went back. Aunt Laura was in the kitchen. I washed my hands. Auntie, I'll help. You go out and call Chase and tell him to come back soon. Aunt Laura pushed me out the door. I took out my cell phone and dialed Chase's number. After a while, the call was answered, and Chase's usual droll voice came through. Is this my sister Yoon? What are you looking for? Aunt, I told you to come back early for dinner. Tell your aunt that I am busy. You guys eat first. After saying that, Chase hung up the phone. I went in and told Aunt Laura, who scolded Chase. I couldn't hold back my laughter. I ate dinner with Aunt Laura and Mrs. Baker, but Chase never came back after dinner. Aunt Laura called Chase and asked him where he was. After she hung up, Aunt Laura said to Mrs. Baker, he's still at the office. Don't think he's eaten. Mrs. Baker, you can bring him the soup. Mrs. Baker was a bit embarrassed, but I still have to deal with the chicken. If I don't, it's not surprising that Chul won't be angry when he comes back. The smell of chicken poop is everywhere. Aunt Laura laughed out loud. That's true, I'll go then. I took out my car keys. Chase left me that Audi luxury sedan. Aunt Laura instantly became excited. Good, you can visit his company. I'll give you the address. Got the address and followed the navigation to Chase's company. Just as I entered the door, I was stopped by someone. How do I know you're not a crook? There are a lot of people who want to get close to our president. Thought it was a little funny, but didn't give the person a hard time and gave Chase a call. After a while, Chase came down. Who stopped you? Down Yun's sister. Tell brother. Brother will give you revenge. Chase said with a smile, glaring at the man with a smile on his face, and took me in. Am not going in. Auntie asked me to bring you soup. I'm going back now. Am almost gone too. Wait for me for a minute. Go up first. Chase yanked me into the elevator. When I got to his office, I realized that Kyle was there too. Couldn't tell. When they were working seriously, they were much cooler than their usual dude looks. The two of them split the soup, and Kyle sighed as he drank. It's nice to have a daughter-in-law and someone to bring food to, or else you'd have to eat takeout. Chase hissed. What are you talking about? It's not good to make fun of the little girl, don't you know? Kyle stared at Chase for a while. Chul, you really don't like Yoon's sister? Then I'm going to do it. I really like her. Get lost. Chase kicked over. What's wrong with you? Stay out of it, Kyle. I'm so sad. It was a little late when I got back to Chase's apartment, so I went straight to my room to wash up. I read for a while, and then I went to bed around 10 o'clock. Don't know if Aunt Laura had toned me up a bit too much, but in the middle of the night I was awakened by a pang of thirst. To my surprise, I went out and found a light on in the second floor nook only to see Chase fully clothed in nothing but an orange boxer briefs, seemingly also thirsty and ready for a drink of water. 4 eyes met, and it was awkward. Coughed lightly, and suddenly my face was on fire. Sorry, I'm thirsty. Pouring water. After saying that, I directly picked up a cup from the coffee table to get water. Chase let out a hiss. What's wrong with you, girl? Don't you know how to be shy? I looked at him as I drank the water, then put down the glass. What's there to be shy about? It's not like I haven't seen it before. Chase's eyes widened instantly. You've seen it. He furrowed his brow. Who have you seen wearing pants? My ex-neighbors. I walked towards the room. I changed his diaper. I've seen him in his pants. I've seen him in nothing. Had just reached the door to my room when Chase's grumpy voice came over. What's a little kid got to do with me? I closed the door, smiled and shook my head as I got into bed and went back to sleep. The next morning Mrs. Baker made osmanthus pudding. I don't know how to make it. QQ bouncing, very delicious. When I was eating the second one, I finally couldn't help myself and looked up at Chase, who had been sneaking a peek at me. Just say what you're going to say. Chase looked around my face. You didn't lose any sleep last night. I froze. Why did you lose sleep? Shit. Chase gritted his teeth and muttered in a low voice, I had insomnia and you didn't. That's not scientific. It's not scientific. His head came over Yoon sis. I actually changed your diaper when you were little. What are you trying to say? Really, when you were 1 year old, Uncle Tong and Aunt Tong brought you to our house as a guest, and I was already a big kid at that time. He nodded his head as if to convince me of this. That's right. Chase's look became incredulous. You're really not shy, are you? I laughed and cried a little. That was when I was a kid. What's there to be ashamed of? Well, you saw me in my pants last night. Why aren't you shy? Chase closed his eyes. Even if you're not shy, don't you have any little fluctuations in your heart? I looked at him puzzled. What are you going to say? Chase, let's eat. I was really puzzled. After eating, I was ready to go to school. Just as I was about to leave the house, Chase came over to me. Yoon sis, I promised the people in your dorm that I would treat them to dinner. How about this Friday? Okay, I'll ask them and let you know on WeChat. Chase stood in the doorway. Chase stood at the door, one hand on the doorknob. Wait for your news. I asked Chinemo and the girls. They all said Friday night was fine, and said they wanted to go to a hot pot. I told Chase on WeChat. Soon it was Friday night and Chase drove to pick us up. When we arrived at the hot pot lounge, Chase became the host and was very enthusiastic. Wang Ying was so touched, she was on the verge of kissing Chase's ass. Her cheeks were flushed by the hot pot's heat, and she picked up a glass of wine to toast Chase. Brother Chul, since you are so kind, I will reveal a secret to you that I don't even reveal to my parents. Chase smiled and asked, what secret? Wang Ying blocked her mouth with the back of her hand, but her voice was loud. There's a senior in our student council who's after Tiffany. That's the secret. Chase's eyes slammed into my face. Really? No, she's drunk. Don't listen to her. Wang Ying beamed. I'm not bullshitting. Don't believe me? Ask Chinemo and Z Nettle. The two nodded. I looked over. Chinemo had her arms wrapped around her chest. Queenly, there's nothing I can do about it. Eating people's mouths is soft. If you want to blame it, it's because Senior Lin is so bad at it. He doesn't know how to curry favor with us. It's still Chase who's on top of things. Chase looked as if he was being praised. That's a must. Him a good person. Come and eat. Order what you want. I sighed silently. They're really more childish than each other. After dinner, we parted in front of the hot pot lounge. Chao Z Nettle went home. I wanted to go back to the dorm with Chen Mo and Wang Ying, but Chase said he had to send me back to the Thompson estate in the morning and leave early, so he asked me to go back to the apartment with him. Didn't refuse. On the way, Chase didn't say anything. My cell phone rang. Surprisingly, it was Ethan, who had asked me for my phone number during orientation training. When I picked up the phone, Ethan asked me if I had time tomorrow. I have to go to the bookstore tomorrow. I don't think I have time. I told him the truth, but Ethan said him going to the bookstore too. Why don't you join me? Well, let's call tomorrow. I hung up after that. Who is it? Chase finally spoke up. I answered casually. Ethan, is that the senior who's after you? Chase's voice rose slightly. Chase didn't say anything else, didn't say another word to me until we got back to his apartment, drove me back to the Thompson estate the next morning. Aunt Laura asked me what I wanted to eat and went over the evening menu with me. Chase was sitting on his cell phone. Aunt Laura asked Chase, what are you doing here? You don't usually stay at home. Chase was paralyzed, as if he had no bones. I miss you, so I'm here to keep you company. Don't you dare. Aunt Laura grunted. After studying the evening's menu, I was ready to go out and told Aunt Laura that I was going out to buy some books. When I got in the car, I called Ethan and arranged to meet him at the bookstore near the movie theater, which had a better selection of books. When we met, Ethan asked me what kind of books I wanted to buy. Something related to my major, literature, from a list of books my high school teacher gave me. I answered, and when I turned around, half of my black head flashed in front of my eyes. It wasn't really half a head, it was just the top of a skull at best. Why does it feel like there's a book thief? But I didn't think much of it. Ethan and I finished buying the books and went out. Ethan pointed to the movie theater not far away. There's a blockbuster movie playing recently. Are you interested? I'm not really interested. I smiled slightly. Did you come to me today because you have something to tell me? Ethan stammered. Tiffany, I actually liked you the first moment I saw you. I wasn't surprised, thank you. I thanked sincerely and continued, but I don't feel that way about you. Ethan smiled. It doesn't matter, just let me chase you. By the time I got back to the Thompson estate, Chase was gone, but after a while, he came back. His face didn't look very good, as if he had gotten into trouble outside. Aunt Laura smiled and asked, What's wrong with you again? Chase looked at me, glaring at me so to speak and nothing, just think some people don't have any responsibility. Why do I get the feeling that by some people he means me? I didn't piss him off, did I? After Aunt Laura left, I went over to him and asked what's wrong with you. Chase raises his chin. I'm not inexplicable. Picked up the book that was sitting on the coffee table and went upstairs to my room. Came down just as dinner was being served. I was surprised Chase was still home. Aunt Laura must think he's out of his league. After dinner, Chase asked me, "Are you leaving?" I blinked. "Where to?" "Home." "Where else?" "Hurry up and pack up, let's go." He urged. "No, I'll stay with my aunt tonight." "And no need." Aunt Laura laughed and pushed me. "You go back with Chase, go go go." I ended up getting into Chase's car. Was really out of sorts today. Was cold-faced with me the whole way. When we arrived at the apartment, he went upstairs to his room with big strides. I went after him. "Did I do something wrong to piss you off?" "It's my style to say what I have to say." Chase grunted. "What do I have to say?" "You don't even refuse when people want to chase you, Tiffany. You really have a great style." I froze slightly in reaction. The same time I knew whose brain top I saw today. He young and childish enough to play the stalker thing. Have no right to restrict people's behavior in the first place, you. Chase gritted his teeth and nodded. Okay. He went back to his room, looking like he never wanted to talk to me again. What a guy who turns his face over faster than a book. The next morning when I went down to dinner, Mrs. Baker said Chase had left early in the morning and hadn't even eaten. Mrs. Baker asked me, "Why did you two fight last night?" I was puzzled, so I told Mrs. Baker the whole story. "That's all." Mrs. Baker's face showed the smile of an experienced person. "Silly boy, don't you understand? That boy is jealous." "Jealous?" My voice rose slightly. "How is that possible? Che likes you. Besides, you two were already engaged, weren't you?" I smiled lightly. That was all just a joke between my mom and Aunt Laura. And besides, Chol said he doesn't like my type. Mrs. Baker frowned. "He really said that? Told you that himself?" I nodded. "This kid, just do it." Mrs. Baker complained. I knew that Mrs. Baker had been working for the Chang family for more than 10 years, and the Chang family had long treated Mrs. Baker as one of their own, and Mrs. Baker loved Chase as if he were one of their own juniors. She understands Chase, and that man is, indeed, quite made. Thought Chase would not come back at night. After all, he seemed to be very angry last night. Didn't he expect him to come back just a little after 5 o'clock? Chase saw me, like nothing happened, and handed me a cup of milk. My brother bought it for you. Don't worry about drinking it. It's less sugar and won't make you fat, thanks. I took it. Is this a reconciliation? He took off his jacket and threw it aside, sat on the sofa, and patted the seat beside him. Went over and sat down. "It's November vacation soon. Have you thought about where you want to go?" Chase asked me excitedly. "I want to go back home." Chase was silent for a moment and nodded. "Okay, I'll go back with you." "You?" Chase lifted his chin slightly, still with the same impressive and bombastic stance. Why are you accompanying me back?" I want to go have some fun." "Can't I?" He furrowed his brows. "I say, you little girl, why don't you have any fun at all?" I laughed at his words. Chase pursed his lips, slightly sat up straight. "You think, you go back by yourself? How meaningless. The two of us can still take care of each other. And when you encounter something interesting, you can still have someone to share it with. So how fun is this? So is this how fun works?" We left on the evening of the 30th. Afraid of the traffic jam the next day, but still, we stood on the highway in traffic for a long time. "Just take the high-speed train," I said. Chase looked at me sideways. "It's okay, I'll be fine in a while. Driving by yourself is only fun." I laughed out loud. "You've got a lot of love interests." "Of course I do. I know how to be romantic." He was smug, but being stuck in traffic is not romantic. We're stuck in traffic for more than 3 hours, and it was almost 11 o'clock when we arrived at my house. Grabbed a quick bite to eat and got some rest because I wanted to get up early the next day to go see my parents. Chase also had to follow, who knew that the weather was not going to be kind to us. And while we were at the cemetery, it suddenly started to rain heavily. Chase and I quickly ran down the hill, but we still got soaked. There was nothing in the house. Chase said it wouldn't do. He had to go down to buy ginger and get ginger tonic. "Yoon's sister, just wait at home. I see that there is a supermarket across the street from your neighborhood. It's very convenient," he said and went out without even bringing an umbrella. After half an hour, Chase came back, looking like he just got out of the water. "What took you so long?" I immediately handed him a towel. Chase coughed lightly. "Yoon sis, it's not that I'm stupid. It's my first time coming to your house, right? Then it's normal that I don't recognize the way, right? Combined with being lost, then why didn't you call me? I found it myself, didn't I?" he said it as a matter of course. He's afraid of losing face, isn't he? Why don't you go take a shower and change? I'll get the ginger tonic, I said, taking the bag he was holding. Halfway there I looked back at him again, and there he was in the doorway stripping himself down to his pants. Saw me turn around and gave a beat eye. My clothes are wet and I'm afraid I'll stain the floor. I pointed in the direction of the guest room. You go in first to change clothes. After saying that I went into the kitchen. After I got everything off the pot, I came out again and saw a person with only a bath towel around his whole body moving towards the door. Seeing me come out, Chase's cheeks blushed and immediately stood up straight. My suitcase is outside, I'll come out and get it. I really couldn't hold back and laughed out loud. Chase simply got up greatly. You look at it, feel free to look at it. After finishing his ginger tonic, Chase said he was a bit sleepy. So he went back to bed, slept until 3:00 p.m. and didn't wake up. Thought I would go and wake him up, otherwise he wouldn't be able to sleep at night. As soon as I entered the room, I saw Chase's face was red and he had a fever. I touched his forehead and it was really hot. I called the clinic in the neighborhood and the doctor came over to give Chase some fluids and left. It was almost 4 o'clock when Chase woke up. He took one look at the bottle and realized what was going on. Yun sis, is the rain on your side of the house poisonous? He continued to salvage his pride. Actually, I'm not weak at all, really. I haven't had a fever for years. You'll believe it when you look at all my tendon flesh and my strong manly odor. Believe it, I believe it. It's the rain on our side of the house that's toxic, not you being weak, Chase. I'm really strong. Haven't you noticed that I have more male masculine energy than anyone else? I nodded. Chase looked at me silently. Those eyes looked hotter and brighter because of the fever. Yun sis, I admit that I'm a little bit of a roadie. That's really my only flaw. I know. He closed his eyes and turned his back to me. I want to be alone. Then I'll just sit here and not talk. I can't. I am too upset to be quiet when you're here. Then you keep an eye on the medicine and call me to change it when it's almost gone. I looked at the bottle again and went out, just as I closed the door. Chase's voice came from inside, XINZ. My persona is collapsing. This sultry tone. I laughed out silently. The next day Chase still had to continue his infusion, but he insisted that I take him out to visit the sights of the city. You still have a cold, so don't walk around, just rest at home, I advised. I am fine now. He slapped his pectoral muscles, were in great shape. I really wanted to tell him that he didn't have to be like this just to maintain his manly persona. A man can be road-weary, and it's normal for a man to have a fever when he's caught in the rain. He's a man, not an 18 Robin man, but he refused to do so and insisted on going out. Had no choice but to take him out after his infusion. In the following days, I took him to several places, went back 2 days early. I rested and Chase went straight to the office. I suddenly received a WeChat from Ethan. Yoon, I want to talk to you about student council and clubs. I wonder if you are interested. Of course I was interested, so I made an appointment with Ethan to meet tomorrow. Ethan said that I was suitable for the publicity department and Campus Gazette, and that I could sign up when I returned to school at the end of the vacation. Nodded the senior. Thank you. I'll go ahead and sign up when I go back to school. Good. I officially joined student council. The vice minister arranged for me to be on duty with him on Wednesday and Friday nights. This Wednesday I started working with him. So after class and dinner, I went straight to the publicity department. Ethan was telling me about some matters. I was taking careful notes when my cell phone suddenly rang. It was Chase. Why aren't you back yet? I then remembered that I forgot to tell Chase. Didn't Mrs. Baker tell you? I'm on duty in the publicity department tonight, so I won't be going back. I'm staying in the dorm without waiting for Chase to speak. Ethan's voice rang out. Yoon, the list of Campus Gazette was sent to the group. Did you see it? There's you. Really? I was a bit excited and immediately told Chase I'm going to be busy. Who are you with? Chase asked, his voice sounding heavy. I paused for a moment. Our minister, the one chasing you. I hesitated. Right. Chase didn't say anything and hung up. I immediately opened WeChat. Senior, I've been pulled into the group. Ethan laughed and congratulated me, telling me about job notes. Don't know how long it took, but a knock on the door suddenly sounded. I turned my head to look over, and it was Chase who opened the door. What are you doing here? Chase grimaced and swept Ethan a glance. Aren't you going to be busy until late tonight? I'll wait for you here. Ethan came over. Yoon brother, we are not allowed to allow parents in here. Chase had an arrogant and cocky stance. I'm a family member. I pulled Chase out. Didn't I say I'm staying in the dorm tonight? Just you two. Chase pointed to the door. Just joined the publicity department and he's the minister. I explained patiently. Chase snorted. You're the only one who believes his bullshit. He's just faking publicity to be alone with you. Can't you see that? Chase grabbed my wrist. Tiffany, I'm a man, I know exactly what's in his mind, he's trying to chase me. I interrupted him. You're a man, you know exactly, so you want to chase me too. Chase was speechless and yanked me toward the stairs. Come home with me. Stop it. I completely exploded. Ethan came out. Yoon's brother, she's not going back. Please respect her. He emphasized the word brother extraordinarily. Chase looked at him contemptuously. What's between the two of us has nothing to do with you. He finished and looked down at me again, his tone domineering. Take your things and come home with me, I told you. I'm on duty. Chase's face went completely cold, completely missing his usual hangdog demeanor. I'm going to ask you one last time, are you coming with me or not? I looked at him needlessly. No. The next second he let go of me and turned to go. Inexplicably, Chase and I went cold turkey. Hadn't been to the apartment for a couple days. I think Mrs. Baker told Aunt Laura, and on Friday, while I was still on duty, Aunt Laura called. She asked me what was going on with Chase, smiled helplessly. Nothing, Aunt Laura, it'll be over in a few days. Aunt Laura laughed out as well. That's right, it's normal for you young people to get along and have small quarrels. I'm not worried. Hearing Aunt Laura say that, I was relieved. As for Chase's side, he's just being unreasonable. I'm not going to bother with him. Well, he should be worried about me too. So after my shift on Friday, I still went to the apartment in the middle of the night. Mrs. Baker was the only one downstairs. In a low voice, is Chol back? Mrs. Baker shook her head, was a little disappointed. I should have known to give him a call. The door behind me suddenly opened. As soon as I turned around, I locked eyes with Chase. He didn't say anything and changed his slippers and walked inside. I immediately followed Chase. Don't be angry, can't I apologize to you? Your brother Chol isn't that petty. Chase took off his jacket and casually threw it away, sitting down on the sofa. Just to remind you that Ethan is not a good thing, you stay away from him. I nodded, not really wanting to get into another fight with Chase over Ethan. My interactions with him were limited to student council. The next day I went back to Chang's house with Chase. When Aunt Laura saw us, she smiled and asked, did you make up? Chase raised his chin slightly. What do you mean you've made up? Nothing at all. I nodded my head in agreement. That's right. Chase raised an eyebrow, obviously satisfied with my answer. Childish. Before I knew it, it would be 2 months since I entered student council. It was another Wednesday night when Ethan and I were on duty together. He suddenly said to me, Yoon, why don't you be my girlfriend? I froze slightly. Senior, don't plan to fall in love right now. It's all university now. Which one doesn't fall in love? He laughed. Besides, I brought you into student council and helped you so much. How can you repay me? I froze, instantly amused. How do you want me to repay you? Ethan still smiled warmly. The student council of a university is a small society. You should understand this kind of shady dealings, right? My mind was shattered. In hindsight, Chase was right on the money. He was so good at pretending, and only now did he show his tail. I laughed coldly. As a boyfriend, your character is no good. In addition, your face is no good. Your body is even worse. To be honest, a propaganda minister is just a minister. I don't need to be so disgusted with myself. Ethan instantly changed his face. What did you say? I gave him a contemptuous glance and packed up my things and left. Ethan's threatening voice sounded behind me. Tiffany, you can think about it. You walk out today. Student council, any department. I slammed the door directly, not bothering to listen to his nonsense. Thought this matter was over, but suddenly rumors spread around the school that the reason I quit the publicity department was because I seduced Ethan and he talked me out of it. Yoon, everyone's talking about you now. I called Ethan and he actually blackballed me. The 4 of us went to Ethan together and blocked him in the classroom. Ethan wasn't afraid of us 4 girls at all, that's the truth. Wang Ying was impulsive and went up to Ethan to beat him up, cursing Ethan's ancestors, Chen Mo, and I pulled Wang Ying back. Okay. I calmed Wang Ying and looked at Ethan with cold eyes. I'll call the police. Ethan smiled disdainfully. Whatever. The 4 of us went to the police station. Case was indeed filed, but the police also told me to have a red heart and 2 hands. After all, this rumor thing is like the wind, it's a bit hard to catch solid evidence. I got back to the apartment a little after 5. Chase wasn't home. Had dinner with Ms. Baker. It was almost 10 o'clock when Chase returned. He came to look for me in my room. When he saw me reading, he laughed and said, "Stop reading. You're not afraid of damaging your eyes by reading every day," I said with a smile, putting down my book and going out. Laughed and put down my book and went out. Chase the psycho found a horror movie to watch. Even if it was a horror movie, he was still scared, and he tried his best to get into my arms. I laughed out at Chase. So you're not only a roadie, but you're also afraid of ghosts. Chase looked at me doubtfully. You're not scared at all. I shook my head. Not afraid. How is that possible? Because my mom told me when I was little that I was a fairy, and fairies don't need to be afraid of ghosts, so no matter if I'm walking at night or watching horror movies, I'm not afraid as long as I think I'm a fairy. Chase, he doesn't believe it. Does it work? You can try it too, but I'm not a girl. I tapped him on the shoulder. Just say you're Erlangchen. Chase nodded. Erlangchen is good. Erlangchen is handsome. The celestial hound next to me. I finished what I hadn't said. Chase, I burst out laughing. You're in a good mood today. He turned on the light. Nothing you want to tell me. That worked really well. Just hypnotize yourself like that next time you watch it. I said. Chase looked at me silently for a moment and nodded. Okay, I'll try that next time. Go to sleep. He stood up, got up too, and went back to the bedroom. The phone kept vibrating. It was from our little group of fairies, Chow Z Nettle. Tiffany, I asked my parents, you can hire a lawyer for this kind of thing. The lawyer who works with our family company is awesome. Yoon, I'll contact him for you. Wang Ying. If you ask me, beat it up first, then get a lawyer if it doesn't work. Chin Mo. Wang Ying, if you keep talking nonsense, I'll kick you out. A warm feeling welled up in my heart. It's good to have them around. Okay, you guys go to sleep. Let's wait for what the police say first. Wang Ying, what took you so long? Don't mention it. I was just dragged to a horror movie by Chul. Chin Mo, what didn't he say? I froze for a moment. What did he say? Chinma, good night. 2 more good nights popped up below. I said good night too and went to bed. The next day I went to school and was surprised to get a call from the student council president. Asked me to meet him and said, you can continue to join student council, but see if you're interested in another department. If you want to stay in the publicity department, that's fine too. I was surprised. Haven't you heard the rumors? The chairman smiled. We have investigated this matter clearly with the help of Mr. Cheng. And Mr. Cheng has invested a large sum of money in our student council and has repeatedly assured us of your character with the credibility of his own company. Mr. Chase? I froze. Chase, the chairman, nodded. Something in the bottom of my heart was surging out. After saying goodbye to the chairman, I frantically ran outside, trying to find Chase. When I finally got to his office, it turned out he was still in a meeting. I waited almost an hour for him to come back. When he saw me, he said, what are you doing here? This guy is really a man of honor. Ethan apologized to me, and the chairman of our student council even said that I should continue to join the student council, and I can choose any department I want, saying that you sponsored it. I took a deep breath and stepped forward. Did you do this for me? Chase waved his hand suavely. It's all small stuff. I don't even remember. I hugged him. Thank you. When I let go of him, I realized Chase's ears were red. Chase, are you shy? Huh? Chase touched his face. No, right? No. I'm a man. Why would I be shy? Don't accuse me. I couldn't help but thank him again sincerely. Chase, thank you, and I'm sorry about before. I even fought with you over Ethan. Chase pinched his earlobe. I know you didn't fight with me for Ethan, and my words lacked consideration. How did you find out about Ethan? I told you that kid was no good. Chase was slightly agitated. He used his position to bully several girls, and they didn't dare expose him. And then what? Then I found them and told them that it wasn't their fault, that it was the kids' fault for cheating, that they were victims too, and that they were all willing to come forward and testify. Chase continued, those rumors about you were also spread by him. I have found the evidence. It's very simple. Your brother. I am a computer expert, and I have a wide range of contacts. He was smug as hell. I smiled and nodded in agreement. Indeed, but you didn't have to sponsor student council for me. Chase raised an eyebrow with a flirty expression. Who asked your brother to be rich? The school informed Ethan and expelled him. In fact, I wasn't the only one who was victimized. Ethan definitely deserved to end up like this. Remembered another thing and asked Chen Mo, did you tell Chul? Yeah, I told him the day you went to the police. Chen Mo wrapped his arms around his chest. Although it's disgusting, this kind of thing is really easier to be solved by someone with money. No wonder Chen Mo asked me what Chase said that day. Your brother Chul is treating you so well, but you don't have anything to show. Chen Mo asked. My heart twitched, but I pretended to be casual. I thanked him. How much is a thank you worth? Chen Mo rolled his eyes. It's more like a favor. Chow Z Nettle came over. You really don't like Chase. I couldn't say the word no. To be honest, after such a long time together, I do have a good feeling about Chase. He's a sunny, cheerful, and chivalrous person, and I'm very happy with him. Is that a favorite? I shook my head. I don't know. Chinma snapped his fingers. That's good. I didn't know what Chinma meant by this is good. Few days later, she offered to go to a bar. When the four of us arrived, it was just after 7. Ying was excited, saying it was her first time here and that she wanted to get high tonight. As we walked inside, Chow Z Nettle suddenly blurted out, isn't that Chul? Who is that woman? Wang Ying, damn, they're hugging each other. I looked over and indeed, Chase was hugging someone and my heart sank, and I suddenly lost interest in playing. Chen Mo came over and asked in my ear, what do you feel? I looked at her sideways. Chen Mo raised her eyebrows. Is it jealous, feeling very hard? If it is, then you're in love with someone else. She was right, I was really jealous. It was hard. It turns out that I really like Chase, but he already has someone he likes. That person is really Chase's type, with her beautiful figure. I lowered my head and wanted to go out to get some air. Chen Mo grabbed me and brought me over. I struggled. Chen Mo, stop it. Chen Mo didn't listen to me and kept dragging me over to Chase's side. Suddenly heard, what the hell are you doing? Get out of my way. Are you sick? It was Chase. He pushed the man away with one hand. The force was so strong the guy almost fell, leaned back and his head fell off. Hair fell off. Surprisingly, it was a wig. Taking another look, Kyle. Chinma bumped me lightly. Who else do you think it is? I looked at Chase again. Chase was shocked and immediately came over and grabbed my hand and went out, he explained anxiously. It's not what you saw. I opened my mouth slightly. Chase gritted his teeth. Who knows what that kid is smoking? Is it possible that you misunderstood? I really don't like him. Chase pursed his lips with a love it or leave it expression. I just like you, and that's right, it's not a crime to like someone. It took me a lot of effort to suppress the excitement in my heart, but didn't you say you don't like the sister type? I changed, can't I? I like whatever type I want. Chase lifted his chin arrogant to the extreme. I looked at him, and under my gaze Chase was again abashed. Yun sis, I really don't like Kyle. How could I possibly like him? I finally couldn't help it and laughed out. Kyle should have conspired with Chen Mo to test my feelings for you. Chase laughed. What kind of feeling? I pulled him over, stood on my tiptoes and kissed him lightly on the lips. That's what it feels like. Chase looked at me with wide eyes. You kissed me. After a moment of excitement, Chase resumed his impressive, boisterous demeanor. I knew you liked me. It's only natural. After all, I'm so popular. It's all clear now. Like Chase, Chase likes me. Seems like a good choice to be someone's arranged marriage, too.